Hey guys, let's talk about it. John Harbaugh out with the Baltimore Ravens. So now we're getting ready to go into an off season. Let's look at all of the open jobs right now. You got the New York Giants open, Atlanta Falcons open, Arizona Cardinals open, Tennessee Titans open, Cleveland Browns open, Las Vegas Raiders open. Which job, if you are John Harbaugh right now, are you sitting there chomping at the bit, wanting to get the opportunity to go after? I think there's only one logical choice for Harbaugh, assuming he still wants to coach next year, which I'm assuming he does want to. New York Giants, the G Men. You've got Scattaboo and you've got Jackson Dart. You've got a wide receiver that's balling out. Why would you not, if you're John Harbaugh, want to go to New York, the largest market in the country, having that to build from, going into an offseason, having free agency, having the draft to prepare for? If he's not on a plane right now, headed to New York to interview with the Giants, both parties are crazy. I'm going all in. Now, let's think about that. That's the ultimate destination for John Harbaugh. My opinion, I could be wrong, but that's just my humble opinion. The name that I'm going to throw at you right now is going to sound crazy for the Baltimore Ravens. And it's going to sound crazy for a number of reasons. One, because he's under contract. Two, because he's at one of your biggest rivals, Mike Tomlin. Give Mike Tomlin, Lamar Jackson, and Derrick Henry. Ooh, what could happen if you put Mike Tomlin on the sidelines of the Baltimore Ravens? Mike Tomlin gets more out of less than any other head coach right now. He is able to get winning records, 500 records on teams that have no business being there. Now, if you hand him Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry, do we not all think they're instant contenders for the AFC Championship game? I think if you make this move as the Baltimore Ravens, you got to have in the back of your mind who you're replacing Harbaugh with. If I'm looking at rolling the dice and you're the Baltimore Ravens, do you roll the dice with someone with less experience? Do you maybe go resurrect a John Gruden? Do you go after a Cliff Kingsbury coming from the Washington Commanders? Or do you just go up the street and go grab Mike Tomlin, a guy who's a proven winner, who gets more out of less year after year? Since Roethlisberger left the Steelers, they have not been a contender. They've not. They're nowhere close. Mike Tomlin has been able to will them to 9-8 records, which is what he seems to do every year. Give him Travis Henry, give him Lamar Jackson, give him a healthy defense, give him Likely. Let's see what happens. Me personally, if I'm the Ravens, I got him on speed dial. Hey, you lose on Monday night, you're coming to work for us in Baltimore. It's an off the record phone call, but that's the one that I'm making. That's who I'm going after. Now, if you're another team out there besides the Giants, of course I'm inquiring to see where John Harbaugh is. If I'm John Harbaugh, the team that I want to go to, the most attractive job out there right now, has got to be the Giants. I personally think Jackson Dart and Scattaboo are two up and coming young talents in this league that in the years to come are going to be ballers. The fact that you didn't give Dable time to actually work with them, win healthy, get through full seasons, and see what he could do to develop them, I get it. You're impatient. Dable hadn't been able to produce much the last couple of years, but I honestly believe those are two picks that you got right as the Giants. Go all in. Go get them. Go do it. I would chase Harbaugh like no other. Yes, you got those conversations out there about Nagy and the Chiefs D coordinator Spagnola interviewing with the Titans. That's great. Titans would be a great place for both of those guys to land, either of those guys to land. But if I'm the New York Giants, I need a bigger splash. I need a guy that's going to come in here and set the world on fire and make us instantly competitive. If you look at the Dallas Cowboys, they just got rid of their defensive coordinator and you got Brian Schottenheimer as the head coach. If you look at the Philadelphia Eagles, they're going to continue to be the Eagles. But if I steal one of two from them, I think I can get past the Washington Commanders. Give me John Harbaugh. I am instantly a playoff contending team. Harbaugh can come in and do with the Giants what Vrabel did with the Patriots. Now you're back in the conversation again. Now free agents want to come play for you. Now you're able to recruit. Now you're establishing yourself as that team that everybody wants to play for. If you're the New York Giants, go hard after John Harbaugh. If you're everybody else out there looking, I don't blame you to make the phone call. But if I'm John Harbaugh, I'm not taking it. I'm waiting to see what happens with the Giants' job. Or maybe you take a year off if you're Harbaugh. Maybe you're not interested in taking the time to try to build from ground up. Maybe it's time for you to have a little relaxed time, see how your brother does in the playoffs, see if he needs help as he's scheming up for the next month of the season, see what happens in San Diego, which, oh, I'm sorry, Los Angeles. By the way, I don't think the Chargers are going to go very deep in the playoffs. If they get past week one, they're out in week two, but Chargers are not a contender for the Super Bowl. Maybe with both Harbaugh brothers, you are, but again, I don't see that as something that's going to happen. He may have conversations with him, but at this late date, I don't see any type of transaction that happens that allows him to help them in the playoffs. So, again, to summarize, here's if I'm playbook expert making the calls, here's what I'm doing. New York Giants, you're on the phone with John Harbaugh tonight, right now, making him an offer. What does it take for you to come coach Jackson Dart and Cam Scatterboot? Is there a better 1-2 punch that's going to come into their second year in the NFL out there than those two? Forget about the number one pick that the Raiders have. You already have two dynamic players that have provided some great moments in the NFL this past year. That's the case that I'm making to him. That's what I'm calling him with tonight. If he says no, then you move down the list. But if I'm the New York Giants, I am camped out on John Harbaugh's doorstep right now tonight. And if I'm John Harbaugh, I'm listening. What do you got to lose? I'm listening. In that NFC East, who for the last 20 years has not had back to back champions until this season, you can win. You can beat the Cowboys. You're not that far from beating the Cowboys if you're with the Giants. You're not that far from beating the Commanders if you're the Giants. The Eagles, we'll see. Let's see what run they put on in the playoffs this year before we decide to anoint them as the team to beat going forward. I, for one, believe in the Eagles and think they're going to be very good during the playoffs this year. But at the same time, coming in second to the Eagles and still making a playoff run, and then coming back in year two after having 2 years of free agency and two draft picks, I like my chances. I'm John Harbaugh. I'm listening to the phone call from the New York Giants tonight, and I'm seriously considering making that run. And I'm not going to think about it very long. Give me a week, watch the playoffs this weekend, chill out. You're not going to hire anybody else. Let me be able to take my time. And then I'm ready to come back swinging and prove that you let me go too soon in Baltimore. Very disappointing loss with the Ravens this past weekend. You've had a ton of injuries this year, though. I don't know that's entirely his fault, although you would think with Lamar Jackson MVPs that he's won that you would have gone further and would have made a Super Bowl or at least an AFC championship game by now. So I get it. I get Baltimore's opinion. I understand why they made the move that they made. But if I'm John Harbaugh, I also know I'm still in the top third of coaches in the NFL. I can still get more out of players than everybody else. And oh, by the way, right now, Kansas City Chiefs are down. Patrick Mahomes is down. Andy Reid is down. The next 2 years, you got to strike. You got to go recruit. You got to go build a program. and you got to take over because those guys are going to be back. They are going to be charging. Build the foundation today. If I'm the New York Giants, I'm calling John Harbaugh. If I'm John Harbaugh, I'm on Broadway because if I can make it anywhere, it's New York, baby. New York. Playbook expert. I'll catch you guys next time. I will give you a breakdown on the playoffs, but for tonight, whew, this is big news. John Harbaugh, go call the New York Giants. New York Giants, go call John Harbaugh. Baltimore Ravens, Mike Tomlin's your guy. Trust me on this one. I'll see you guys next time.